we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster. So did I ever tell you the story about why this topic of networking I quit was really hot on my plate?
No, you did not share that with me.
Man, you hear stories all day long, but this just kind of like baffles me that I meet a networker, right? We have a one-to-one, probably at your place. And this networker is new, young, smart, fresh to Texas, and saying, I'm all about networking. I think that's the way we grow. My boss, not so much. And I'm like, yay, you. Well, all of a sudden, 6 months go by. He's totally ghosting me. Haven't heard a peep. And then I find out that he quit. He quit networking. Not his job. He quit networking because he felt like he needed to make money.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing too, Cheryl, in networking is people really don't understand what networking is about.
They don't. And they haven't set the expectations with the boss person, right. The boss man. You're a boss, right? I'm kind of a boss of my husband. He doesn't like that very much. But I totally get where your boss comes down on you. So if you are a W-2, right? If you're an employee for a company and they're coming down on you about, what are you doing with your networking time? I think you should cut that back. This is for you. Mm-hmm. Or if you're an entrepreneur and you're like, it is not happening for me and I need to buckle down and drop networking and get back to prospecting, this is for you because we're going to help you identify 5 areas that are real problematic, and we've got some great tips.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I just want to reinforce what you just said, Cheryl, that it is so important for the salespeople to understand what networking is about. They got to put their playbook together. One of the points that you're going to outline here too is setting goals.
Yeah.
If you did a survey of those people that quit networking, you're going to find out they fail in all the points of trying to be a successful networker.
Yeah. Fail. And with all good intention, right? They get into it because they're excited, but excitement doesn't fill your bank account, right? Like you equated it to investing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one other thing that I want to share too is the fact that sales reps need more arrows in their quiver.
Yeah.
And networking is one of them, and it's just one. You need other ones, but we're going to get into that.
Yeah, they all work together. So this is a really important topic, especially as we kick off this 2025. Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Never, never, never quit, as Winston Churchill said.
That's right. So 5 reasons. 5 reasons, and I know you've picked your top reason. I picked my top reason.
Yeah.
So we'll drill down independently on those that we both feel really strongly about. But here are the 5 reasons. 1, lack of immediate results.
Absolutely.
Number 2, fear of rejection or social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I know you and I don't suffer from that, so that was kind of low on our totem pole when we were prioritizing this. Number 3, time constraints.
Mm-hmm. Legitimate.
Right? It is absolutely legit. Number 4, lack of strategy or purpose. Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding. Yes.
For you. And number 5, burnout from overcommitment.
Mm-hmm.
And probably as we wrap up a whole year and people begin to isolate where maybe problems were or where they're feeling a bit of burnout, I totally get where maybe number 5 might be their top.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for you, out of these top 5, number 4 is yours, right?
Absolutely. I think number 4 is so important because, again, they're coming into this, and especially sales reps, they have the gift for the gab. They know how to talk to people already, so they get to have this happy hour moment of just talking to people. Yeah. And then, like anything, and one of my favorite analogies is a football team. How they spend more time in the classroom than they do actually on the field, and learning about their game next week. They're learning about strategy. They're getting tips from the coaches of how to play this team. You have to do the same thing in networking. If you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up there nowhere.
You can end up there nowhere land. So in regards to strategy, what strategy, what game plan would you tell them to put into place?
For me, strategy is really understanding your expectations. Is that, what is your ROI from your networking? To prove that you can make money, you can prove that to yourself, to your boss, but yet you set the expectations. I want to make $3,000 every month from networking. Okay, $3,000. Let's break that down. That how many sales is that? One sale? Is that 10 sales? Mm-hmm. And then what do you have to do? How many people do you have to talk to? How many one-on-ones you need? So it's that whole strategy thing from a tactical point of view. And without knowing that, you're not going to have any hope of achieving your goal.
Yeah. And understand too how long, kind of give yourself that timeline on when you think you want to achieve that $3,000 a month. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lofty goal. Just know that putting a dollar figure to it is important, but just be conscious of the time it takes to cultivate real relationships to get to that point.
Absolutely.
So here are, according to my research, some things that help create clear, actionable goals for networkers. Who are you trying to meet? Mm-hmm. I think that is so important. So still speaking to your point number 4, lack of strategy. The strategy can be broken down into these 3 sections, right? Who you want to meet.
Yeah.
Where do you need to meet them?
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to meet B2B CFOs or anybody in the financial world, because that's my best synergy partner, or they're the ones who lead me to the best referrals, then where do they hang out? Like what networking groups, networking events, what associations are they a part of? And then what value can I bring to them? Not what do they bring to me?
Right.
Right. So it's the who are you targeting, and clearly define that. Where will you find them, and what value can you bring them?
I think that's brilliant.
You like it?
I love it because, again, so many people, they'll go to these networking groups, they're talking to the wrong people.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I will say number 1 for me is what I hear the most. And I totally get it as somebody who left a corporate position, and then you get into this world of, I'm on my own, yay! I'm going to set the world on fire, yay! I'm going to retire in 5 years, yay! Well, does it happen like that?
No.
It doesn't. Boo. Big boo.
Yeah.
So number 1 is number 1 is lack of immediate results. And the lack of immediate results can be remedied on building genuine relationships, and then giving. We talk about this like ad nauseum, giving before you receive.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's I mean, that everybody knows that point, like especially like when the people have read The Go-Giver, but they don't do it.
Yeah.
And, it's like we got to shake people. We got to wake them up.
Yeah. But that lack of immediate result is hence why we started this networking. I quit.
Yeah.
Because that was the mindset, I think, of this person, or at least the boss, that then dictated how the time was spent. Just really paying attention to the fact that those genuine relationships, when you cultivate those, just like you're talking about a team plan or an investment, when you're talking about your 401k, right? You're not going to cash out in 3 months.
Right.
Even if the stock goes crazy, the likelihood of you being able to cash out without there being some penalties is pretty slim. So you have to be in it for the long term and know that that investment is going to pay off at some point.
Yeah.
And you have to keep cultivating that. Now, how do you do that so that you keep it out of your money-making hours? Because this is my conversation with new people who are like, I need more out of my, I'm not getting enough out of my networking or whatever. How do you do that?
Well, it's from the time management point of view.
Yeah.
It's planning your day.
Uh-huh.
I mean, hey, the great news is a lot of these groups are after 5 o'clock and so on. Hey, you can killed 2 birds with 1 stone. You can have your happy hour time,
Right.
which is fun time, but you also have that opportunity to meet people. And then to your point before was the right people, the right organization, the right meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's how I just really dumbing it down. So somebody really needs something simple. So you pull your calendar out and you say, when do I typically am able to get hold of prospects? Like there are hours there. And then B, when I have a client prospect on the phone, when are they likely available for those meetings? And I can tell you based on my experience, how my business works is that typically Tuesday through Thursday, 8 till 3. That's my gold hours. That's my gold time. I do very little networking inside those hours. Only if something opens up and then I pop in.
Right.
But I will not commit to it. So hence when somebody's like, oh, be a part of our 7 a.m. breakfast. Well, I know that's going to be 9 a.m. by the time I get somewhere. And that impedes my money-making time. So you have to know when you make money based on the way you do business and the way your clients do business. And you work the networking around. So to your point, take a look at calendars, and mine would be a good one. empoweredadvantage.com. You'll find my B2B networking calendar, or go search on LinkedIn or allevents.in, which is one of my new favorites, and find out what events they have and schedule those on, Thursday at 5:30, right? And you know that Monday afternoon tend to be a really good time because you typically don't have decision maker meetings at that time, and prospects aren't going to pick up the phone on a Monday afternoon typically. So those are the times you do networking.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty easy. You might eliminate some that you really used to like, but you're not counting yourself out completely. And a lot of those people, we see them recycled, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think another tip too, Cheryl, is, as I'm going to, sales reps, I'm going to kind of get on their case a little bit, where they say they have to do more prospecting, more phone calls, more emails. You only can do so much of that. You're going to burn out.
Yeah.
And so I want to, I want to make the suggestion, and I want to use mid-market professionals as the example, where you have an opportunity, even though that's in the middle of the afternoon, what sales reps are saying prospecting time, but you have an opportunity. You got 40 to 60 people that are going to be there. If you're there, you can't make in an hour. You can't make 100, 40 to 60 phone calls or send LinkedIn messages. Go there, but then do the follow through. Get people's names, link in with them. That is going to be far more productive, I think, than just sitting there dialing for dollars.
That's right. So burnout is a really important thing to pay attention to. And I know there are people who actually train teams on avoiding burnout, right? Identifying and avoiding them. So in the 5 reasons, right, it was number 5, they quit networking because of burnout. But the opposite is true based on what you're saying in our discussion here, right? Is that burnout happens when you're not networking.
Yeah.
So don't quit.
Right, exactly.
You need the people.
You need the people.
You need the energy around you. You need people feeding you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't tell you the times this past year where I was like anchored at home on my laptop, like, oh my gosh, my butt's glued to the seat.
Yeah.
A lovely visual, right? Like I can't get out of the chair. So I make myself, after a day and a half of that, I've realized that's my threshold. I get up, put my clothes on, and I go see some people at a networking event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So again, my calendar is a great place to look, or just go find them, or go find them online at least. If you can't get out for some reason, your car's in the shop, get online and meet some people there. But we need people. We need the feedback.
Yeah.
And we also need to continually begin to plant those seeds that will come back to us in fruit at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all having a game plan. And what better time than right now, where we're planning for 2025. Hey, people, schedule some time this week to put together the game plan for your networking, for your sales, for your growing, your learning. But all those things that we're taught about what goals that we should set for the year, take the time to do it this week.
Yeah. So here's the recap. Right?
Okay.
To your point, out of the 5 reasons, number 4, lack of strategy. So strategize on who you want to meet, where you need to meet them, and what value you bring to them.
Yeah.
right? And then for me, number one, the lack of immediate results. Take a look at your calendar.
Yeah.
Do not quit networking.
Right. Absolutely.
For crying out loud, call me. Call me. 1-800-CALL-CHERYL. I'm going to quit networking. Don't jump off the ledge. Truly, step back.
Great point.
Let's just rearrange the schedule and let's not stop completely.
Absolutely.
Right? Curb, don't stop. But we've got some great networking nuggets, very actionable items that you're going to get here in 2025. So we want to take you to a whole new level of networking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And some
very excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So cheers, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you for spending your time with us at Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster. And we'll see you next week.